What's up guys, Rogue9 here and welcome to my series on Rainbow Six Siege. The closed beta finished recently and I will be showing off my experiences with the game so far. In this episode, I'll be giving you an overview of the submachine guns you'll be able to get your hands on once this game is released. Let's check out the guns available to the SAS operators. First up, we have the SMG-9, the folding machine gun in the 9x19mm caliber. Designed in 2008 by Magpul Industries, this weapon has never actually gone into production and is only available as prototypes. And what Magpul have created here is not actually a gun. What they have created is a folding lower receiver that attaches to existing Glock 17 or Glock 18 upper receivers. So all this really is a glorified way of disguising your existing Glock pistol. Okay, and I guess you can argue that it adds a stock as well. What you get in the game is the second weakest primary weapon of all, with a damage rating of only 35. The fire rate of 800 is quite reasonable, and the mobility of 5 and magazine size of 30 are standard for the submachine guns, but quite good. The second gun available to SAS defenders is the MP5K. This weapon is based on the original MP5 9mm submachine gun developed between 1964 and 1966 by Heckler & Koch. 10 years later, in 1976, Heckler & Koch developed a shortened version named the MP5K for Kurz. This firearm was continuously developed and improved over the years, and the version we see in the game is the MP5K PDW, for personal defense weapon, developed in 1991. Amongst the SMGs in the game, the MP5 stands out with a reasonable damage rating of 40, good fire rate of 800 and the standard mobility of 5, and magazine size of 30. Moving on to the French GIGN forces, we have another MP5, this time a full-length model, likely to be the MP5F. This model was developed specifically for the French military and is distinguished by a rubber-padded retractable buttstock, ambidextrous sling loops, and internal modifications that allow the weapon to handle high-power ammunition. It is manufactured under license in France by the Manufacture d'Armes de Saint-Étienne. Its in-game stats are exactly the same as those for the MP5K, damage 40, fire rate of 800, mobility 5, and magazine size of 30. The second SMG used by the GIGN is the FNP90. Developed in the late 1980s, this gun was released in 1990 by FN Herstal of Belgium. It was designed in parallel with the FN57 pistol that is also available in the game, and just like the 5.7, it uses the 5.7 by 28mm ammo. The P90 is a small, compact and lightweight personal defense weapon that is distinguished by its 50-round box magazine that runs parallel on top of the barrel. Its in-game statistics make this gun quite different from the other submachine guns. Its damage rating of only 30 is very low, but this is counterbalanced by a high fire rate of 970 rounds per minute and a very large magazine size of 50. As of the closed beta, the FBI SWAT teams only have one submachine gun available to them, the UMP-45. The Universale Maschinenpistole was designed by Heckler & Koch throughout the 1990s as a successor and cheaper version of the MP5. As the name suggests, this specific version of the gun is chambered in 45 ACP. This more powerful ammunition gives the gun more stopping power against unarmored targets, but the increased recoil and lower controllability forced Heckler & Koch to reduce the firing cycle, making the UMP one of the slower firing SMGs on the market. This is the most powerful SMG in the game with a damage rating of 48, but its fire rate of 600 rounds per minute is also by far the slowest. The mobility is the standard 5, while the magazine size is slightly smaller at only 25 bullets. Moving on to the Spetsnaz, we have the Vityaz SN, designed in 2004 by Izmash and in production since 2008. This submachine gun is based on the AK-74 design, and as the in-game name suggests, it uses the 9x19mm Parabellum round. It is capable of firing regular pistol ammunition, or alternatively it can also use the Russian 57N181SM armor-piercing round. Its in-game stats make this a powerful yet well-balanced weapon, with a damage rating of 42, the second highest, and a fire rate of 750, still quite quick. Mobility and magazine size are the standard 5 and 30 respectively. I personally would almost put this weapon on par with the MP5 versions, making it one of the best in the game. And last, and maybe this time actually least, is the Gaskin MP7. Manufactured since 1999 by Heckler & Koch, this weapon was designed as a personal defense weapon with a greater chance of defeating body armor compared to other submachine guns that in the past have relied on regular pistol ammunition. The ammunition used is the HK 4.6 by 30mm round, which was designed as a competitor to FN Herstall's 5.7 by 28mm round. In the game, that gives this submachine gun a damage rating of 38, which is slightly below average, and also a fire rate of 750 rounds per minute, which is again lower than what you see for most other guns. Its mobility rating of 5 and magazine size of 30 are the standard as usual. In my opinion, this submachine gun, together with the SMG-9, is a strong contender for the weakest submachine gun in the game so far. And especially if you consider that the Gaskin units have access to the only assault rifle as defenders, there's really no reason to go with the MP7 ever. Well, having said that, the differences are of course mostly on paper. Once you're in the game, a difference in the damage rating of 4 or 5 points might have a small impact on your effectiveness, but that doesn't mean you can't win games with these guns. And as always, I'll finish the video off with an overview of the guns we've just discussed, ranked in order of my personal preference. To me, the MP5s and the Vityaz clearly stand out. Their decent power and decent fire rate make them well balanced and very effective. The P90 and UMP45 are kind of polar opposites. One is weak and fast, one is strong and slow, but again I would group them together sort of in the mid-range of the SMGs. As of the closed beta, the MP7 and SMG-9 bring up the bottom of the list, and again I can't decide quite which one is the worst gun. Their speed, mobility and magazine sizes make them comparable with the MP5s and the Vityaz, but they come in with between 9.5% and 12.5% less power, at least compared to their counterparts with the same fire rate. And this now concludes my series on the weapons available in Rainbow Six, at least those weapons made available during the closed beta testing. I hope you found this little series informative and it's given you a bit of an insight of what you can expect once the game is released. They say online like buttons are like a window to the soul. Why not bare your soul now and show us all that you enjoyed this video? Go on, click that like button. Ah, dang it, he got me right at the end. Well, as always folks, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode.